Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be showing you guys how to do these Valentine's Day inspired nails. If you guys would like, stay tuned. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be starting off using this Coupe Matte Top Coat, and I like to use it over a little bit of a roughed up surface. You don't have to, but that's just my preference, just so I can make sure that it is not going to just peel off the nail like some gels. In some cases, some gels they do that and some they don't. It just depends on what you're going to be using. So I end up curing that for 30 seconds in an LED lamp. And I'm just going to get this Presson nail art ink and some mixing solution and putting it in the dapping dish. The first thing that we are going to be doing is putting the Presson nail art ink, just dotting it all over the nail. I like to see some of the background, so just keep in mind that when you are doing this to like not swipe over the nail, just to dot it on the nail, because it gives a better effect doing that rather than stroking it on like a polish. If you do stroke it on like a polish, it'll end up kind of being like a gelling nail. So that's why I go with this method. You could kind of just like scribble all over the nail with it, or whatever you guys like to do with it. And with this, like, you have to wait for it to dry just a little bit, otherwise it'll smear if you put the top coat right over it. And I'm just going to be putting the Coupe Matte Top Coat on this pinky nail as well. I was kind of debating whether or not if I should do 1 or 2 nails of this, but I decided on the 2. And so I just kind of was playing around with it right here just to kind of show you guys, like, you could even do a smoke effect with it. And when you do it, just kind of like S it back and forth, and then just let that dry for a second. And then I like to go back to the first one and start to dot in the mixing liquid, just so it has time to dry, so when I do put the top coat on it. And then this is me showing you guys how to get that smoky effect. You guys could play with it a little bit more. I kind of just stopped right there, but you could kind of see how it was. I would kind of do it a little bit different if I was doing a smoky look to it, but this was just like a quick kind of showing you like what other things that you could do with this Presson nail art ink. And I had just finished dotting that into both sides, and I like to just kind of go back and forth, making sure that I am getting everything that I want. You always want to make sure that you always get the edges of it, just because I feel like it kind of looks weird if you don't end up covering a lot of the edges. It makes it look like you have gaps in the nails, or the acrylic isn't straight, especially if there's clear underneath and there's not a solid polish underneath the Presson nail art inks. And once you get it how you like it, you kind of just like leave it alone, let it dry for a little bit, and then move on to your next step. And so what I'm going to be doing is getting this glitter from Montage Nail Art. And it is kind of like a blue, black, smoky glitter. It's kind of hard to see in the video how gorgeous this color really is, just because in the video it looks just black. When it's not really black, it's kind of like a charcoaly blue gray kind of color, but it's really pretty. Okay, so we are going to be using this. It doesn't have any names to it. I know the owner of this salon, or of this nail product place, she is going to be starting to sell online, so I will notify you guys when it does finally go online. Okay, so we are just going to be getting this Youngnails Ultimate Finish Gel from Youngnails. And I'm just going to be putting it on. I like to put kind of a thin layer on. I don't like to put too thick, just because if you put the glitter on over it and you dip it inside the glitter, it ends up kind of looking mushy. So you just want to make sure that you get all around the nails. and making sure that you don't have any gaps, because if you have to go back and add a little bit to it, usually it doesn't ever look right when you do that. So just be careful for that. And now that I finished that, I am just going to dip the nail straight into it, but I'm just gonna go up to my free edge. And then I am just going to be getting this brush right here. I don't have a name for it. I had gotten this as a gift. But I just dip it in there and then sprinkle it on to kind of get that ombre effect. I don't want just a straight line going across. And I kind of wanted it to be like an ombre but a French tip at the same time. So that's where you see me kind of going back and adding more glitter higher up to the sides. And I also like to pat the glitter in. So that's what you kind of had seen me doing with the brush, is just patting it in. And right here, this is where I end up adding some glitter higher up onto the sides of the nail, just to make sure it kind of has that curved effect. And you could keep adding onto it until you like it, and then just leave it there. Alright, and then now that we are done with that, I had cured it for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to be using this polish from Essie, Bobbing for Baubles. And I am just going to be putting it on my ring finger and my thumb. I'm going to do 2 thin layers. This polish is already kind of thin as it is, so it does dry super quick. But some of the polishes I do notice that they are kind of sheer. So if you do have longer nails like this, depending on which polish you use from this line, you end up having to put at least 2 coats on it. I don't know if there is a difference from the line where it has the twisted bottles. I think that's kind of like a gel one. But this one, I think, is part of their first line. And I do think that they still sell it, and I hope that they do, just because the bottles of the other one, I'm kind of not a fan of, just because storage-wise, it's hard to store twisted bottles, and they get mixed up a lot easier, and they don't look as nice and neat. And so I'm just going to be doing this this coat on camera, and the other coat that I'm going to do of it, because this one I only need 2 coats, but I am going to do the second one off camera. Okay, now that I'm done with that, I'm just going to be getting a cleanup brush after doing the 2 coats, and I am just going to be cleaning up around the edges, making sure it's nice and smooth and there's nothing left in the cuticles. Just because the grow out of it looks a lot nicer when it's nice and clean. So just always keep that in mind. It makes a world of a difference from when they first leave and then when they come back. It's easier to clean up around there and stuff. And you could kind of just start at the heart. However, I just like to start in one place and then start in another place and kind of meet up together, just so it is as even as I could get it. And the next thing I am going to be doing is getting this dotting tool at the end of this cleanup brush, and I am just going to be dotting all around it. So it kind of gives like a dainty effect to it, and it looks more delicate. To me, it kind of reminds me of a crocheted type of thing. And the only thing about using a regular polish to do this art is that it does dry up really, really fast. So you have to consistently put a new thing of polish down. Every time that I needed more, or it was getting too dry and the dot wasn't looking as nice as I would like it, I would end up having to put another dot of polish, another dot of polish. So in a way, I guess you do kind of waste more product right here, but I mean, to me, I kind of like the way it looked better than doing a gel. And it's nice doing it with a regular polish, because since there's already a matte top coat over it, if you mess up, you're able just to get acetone and wipe it down. But make sure that when you do the top coat, you cover the whole entire nail, because otherwise if there's like a spot missing in the nail, then you'll end up taking that piece of the work off underneath. Because I've done that before, where I missed a patch of the nail and then I ended up wiping the design off, and then it ended up messing up the stuff that I had going on underneath. So just be careful for that. And so I'm just going to keep on dotting just around the heart, and I'm going to be doing about 3 hearts are 3 hearts in total just around it. Once you have the first heart down, this part, it's not that hard because you don't have to be as precise with it. And then see, I have to put more polish down to keep on going. And because the dots, they kind of take a little bit longer to do than like other hand painted things, but it's not difficult. It's very easy to do. So it's just a little time consuming. So don't get frustrated. Alright, and then I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up, and once I am done with it, I'm going to be putting a matte top coat on the nails that need one, and then after putting the ultimate finish gel on the other ones. And I am going to cure both of them for 30 seconds. So the heart one I'll be putting a top coat on, and then the 2 polished ones. Alright, you guys, this is a finished look. If you guys like this, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as usual, I'll be back with more videos. Bye!